Well, hello, Harrison. How you doing?
I'm good. Hello there. Good to see you again.
It's been really long. How long has it been?
I think we figured out it's almost 10 years since we've seen each other in person, and I can't keep track. It's hard to count, phone visits.
It's been long. It's been long, but it's so nice to see you again.
You
How's
too.
family? How's everything?
Good. We're really keeping busy with we've got our little Oakley Ray. She's our almost 3 year old, keeping us young at heart anyway. And yeah,
Just
busy little
let's
girl.
make this clear. When we met, you were about what, 19, 20, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, I think I was 20.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then, now this I'm turning 29 here in just a couple months. So
You're turning what?
29.
29. Wow.
Yeah,
Yes. And you have a little girl who's
got a little
almost three.
girl. Uh-huh. And we actually have a little boy that's on the way in about 6 more weeks.
6 more weeks and you have your second child.
Yeah.
So the girl is Oakley,
Uh-huh.
right? Oakley, how do you spell it?
Oakley.
All right. Okay. And you have a name for the boy?
Ew, his name is gonna be Emmett.
Emmett.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
But I mean, and for no real particular reason, I wish I had a cute little story for him. It just was kind of a name we stumbled across going through names and went, you know what, I like it.
I think
I
they're
like the
both
name.
pretty nice, original. I don't think I've ever met any with these names, you know. Just recently I heard about a missionary whose first name is Emmett, like this week or last week,
Oh, really?
like very recently. Yeah. Well, that's nice. How are they doing?
Good, good. Allie, she's feeling very pregnant, but she does it very well.
She does it
And
very well.
yeah, bless her. Thank goodness that she's just as very capable, and she bears it well. So
And
we're just kind of.
she's still working or she's on a leave
She
right now?
is, yeah,
She's
yeah.
working.
So she's a nurse, and so she works she does 3 days a week, and it's a 12-hour shift. So she works a lot, and right
Wow.
now she's really feeling it too.
And okay, so she's been carrying it well, but now she starts feeling, well, of course,
Yeah,
naturally.
yeah. She's at that point where she's just getting it's a lot. She gets tired, and which is understandable. You've got a large small human in there.
That's a nice way to put it.
Right.
There's a person
So
inside of her.
yeah, it's just natural that she's working hard, and at the end of the day she just is ready to just lay down and not get up for a while. But she's
And
she's awesome. we,
and
we
you're
we definitely would
living,
not be able to sorry.
where are you living now? Like in,
We're in Mesa, Arizona.
right.
So
That's where
pretty
you're from.
we've stayed. We're both from. She actually is. She grew up maybe 5 minutes from where we live now. It's kind of funny being back in her home area, and I grew up just in the neighboring city. So I'm
Mhm.
about 20 minutes from where I grew up. So we're right in our home turf.
That's very nice. That's very nice. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Okay, now changing the subject, maybe this part will be getting more into why you are one of my smartest friends. Remember?
I forgot
That's
about
still
that. Oh
on.
my
That's
gosh.
still on. You're one of my smartest friends.
Of course. I mean, yes.
Remember that?
Clearly one of the smartest. Where's Brady? We got to get him in here too.
Where's Brady? Come on. No, yeah, but okay, why don't you share with us a little bit about your studies? And you told me that you were studying something, but then there was a change in the middle, right?
Yeah. So let's see. It's because, since 2020, it seems like everything's just kind of been a blur, all the years mushing together. But I graduated from ASU, from university in 2020, and my original plan, I was studying to go into dentistry. Even got as far as applying for schools, and just as during the process, I really was not feeling good about any of it really, and so it was an interesting process. And actually, I forgot to tell you earlier, my twin brother is currently in dental school. So we were doing things at the same time with applications, and we had graduated.
Mhm.
And where he was like really pumped and excited about it all, I was just not feeling that. And managed to just take a step back and really reassess and go, is this what I want to do?
I think I
And
need I need to post a picture of your twin brother right here, because
yes, I can definitely, that'll
yes,
be important. This is key to the story.
of course, yes. Hayden.
Um, and yeah, I took a step back and really liked. So I studied a lot of science and the healthcare administration and planning, you name it, across the board of all science and healthcare, and realized I still really liked that and was interested in it. And after some exploring, realized, like, you know what, nursing actually sounds like a great career path. I really did some exploring in that and said, "Yep, I'm gonna go for that." And it's
Right.
funny too because my wife is a nurse right
Hmm.
now. My sister is a nurse practitioner, so a little higher up in that chain.
What is the
And
difference? Nurse
so
practitioner?
a nurse practitioner is a provider, so she can prescribe medicine. She does a lot more treatment on her own,
Oh, more like a
whereas
doctor.
a very similar. Doctors have more that they can do technically with their license, but nurse practitioners, they're someone that you can go and see on your own, if you're like a family provider. So there's a lot that they can do. Yeah, it's really cool. Whereas nurses, there's a lot that they do, but their license is a lot more limited. They
Hmm.
can administer medicine. They can't prescribe it to someone. So there's some nuances there to what is the difference between a nurse practitioner. Um, so yeah, it's been really cool to. I right now I do work in a hospital. I work as it's called a CNA, a certified nurse assistant. So it's just
Uh-huh.
something that gets me in the field and is a stepping stone to then, as I right now I'm in the waiting process to get into nursing school, because you have to go to school and pass a state exam to get licensed as a nurse. And so I'm waiting to go to school for that. And in the meantime, I get to work in a hospital alongside nurses and care for patients.
Right. And the
And
waiting
yeah,
is because of what? Because there's a bunch of people, there's too many
there's
people.
a waiting list for the schools that I've
Right.
applied to, and I'll definitely get into school. It just there, with the volume of people that apply, they just have it set up so that you're put into a list, and then people either will go, or a lot of people decide that they don't want to go to school and drop off the list. So it's just a volume issue.
You know what? I just noticed that right behind you, there's a scarf. I It says
I know
Argentina, right?
my, so this, I've got my scarf, and then I've got a little leather map with all of the provincias.
Oh, nice.
So,
That's sweet.
well, I
Oh, I see
mean,
that.
I finished not too long ago. I've been mateando, like
That's a
I'm all
sweet
set,
mate. Look at that.
right? It's just,
Oh,
keep it close to my heart.
that's lovely. Where's my mate? I don't have it today. Like, that's so sweet. And speaking about Argentina, of course, this is where we met, um, eh, almost 10 years ago when you were serving a mission here. But now
Years.
that implied you learning Spanish. How was that experience to you?
I
Pain.
love to tell people. So I love that you know, I say that I speak Spanish. If you speak Spanish to me, you'll realize I'm still learning, still stumbling
But
through
remember,
it. But
I'm still learning English. I still make mistakes. I'm still
it's a
learning.
it's a constant effort, and
Absolutely.
I love that I get to be able to communicate with so many more people, and it's just a skill that that I I love it every day. It's just something that I really appreciate. But it also was one of the most humbling experiences of my life
Mhm.
getting to Argentina. So not only a country I've never been to, a culture I'm unfamiliar with,
Mhm.
and then not being able to communicate the way that I'd like to. It took a long time to settle in, because naturally we, you know as adults, we don't like feeling like we can't communicate. It's kind of like being a kid again in some ways, where you're like stumbling, I can't find the words, but
You know what I
there's a lot
remember?
of
I think
patience.
one day I was driving you somewhere and I was thinking about like dropping you at some point, and I said, Si te dejo acá, te ubicas.
No, you
Remember
still
that?
remember that? Oh,
Of
no me
course I do.
digas. Oh, and
It
that
was
was when
funny
I thought
because
I
you
was
were
really
like,
good at
what?
Spanish.
Si te dejo acá, te ubicas?
Pero no,
Ubicas?
no
What
hay
is
una
that?
calle que se llama Ubica. Matías, no, no, no existe.
What- That was so much fun. I
Oh
was
my
like, how come you
gosh.
don't know that word? We use it all the time. Te ubicas? No me ubico.
Hmm.
Oh, well, that was a fun experience. Now, because you learned English, like pretty much, how how has that helped you or you know affect you in your present time? Now maybe
Yeah.
at work.
So I use Spanish every time I go to work. We'll get sometimes we get patients that don't speak a lot of English or any,
Mhm.
and I'll get pulled in to translate some, but it's really neat for them too. It makes them feel more comfortable when there's
Of
someone that
course.
they can talk with,
Yeah.
and so that's fun. Now you'll have to know, here in Arizona, most of the Spanish speakers come from various parts of Mexico,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's
Yes, I
that has been a challenge for me, trying to figure out, okay, this is kind of like learning Spanish again.
it seems like I can hear your other brother's voice saying
Oh, I
something
know,
here.
right?
No?
Yeah. And he definitely has a lot more of that. There's just phrases and things that they use that
What would
I'm
Jamin
learning.
say? What would Jamin say here?
And
Because
for oh my gosh, he's got so many, like, there's like a fun little phrase from Guadalajara that he has, but you know things like, todo está bien mi carnal.
I think we
Oh,
should have
yeah.
a voice message from here to insert
we'll
in this
we'll get
part.
we'll
Can
get
you
you
just
something you can hear the authentic. I don't know if that's
a short
authentic
clip? Tell him
Mexico
to
or
send me
just authentic Jamin.
send me a short clip with of him, a video,
Yeah,
saying something about Mexican Spanish versus Argentinian Spanish. It will be fun to insert it right here. That will
for
make it
sure.
like a lot of fun. He's a funny guy too.
He is.
It's
That'll be
crazy.
fun.
Let's
So
do. We're gonna
very
do that.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's that's been a lot of fun because I still get to practice a lot, and I get a connection with people that I have other coworkers that say all the time, I wish I spoke Spanish, or I took a
Ah,
couple of years of Spanish back in high school or when I was a lot younger, and I don't I
exactly.
don't have all those skills. And so that's very validating too, where it's just something that people, I think, want. It just, you
I
don't,
like it.
life happens, right?
I like it that we always say here, like how important it is to learn English and how different your life can be when you incorporate this language into your life. And not only because of work, but many things, many aspects of life. But I like it that it's the same with you guys. When you
Yeah,
learn Spanish, your life can be so different, and you can have like so many advantages over other people. And
absolutely.
what I was thinking, what you said, when a patient speaks Spanish and with very poor English, and then you step up and you help, they feel more comfortable. But I suppose that you feel nice too, that you can do that for
Oh,
them, that
yeah,
you have
it's
that to
so fun
offer.
because it feels like, as simple as you're just making another friend, kind of a thing. It's the barriers come down. Whereas, if you don't speak language, they don't speak English, you don't speak Spanish,
Mhm.
they can tell you're doing your best, you're caring for them. There's just still, these barriers that don't necessarily come up when you can I get to come in and speak with them, and we can share stories and things, and it's a lot of fun.
Yes, it becomes such a great advantage, a great blessing, to have this tool with you, this power. It gives you some kind
Yeah,
of power, right? That's the feeling, and it's a great thing. It's
yeah.
a great opportunity, and so many things can be different because of that, because you speak the language. I know it's not easy. We all know it takes time, a lot of patience,
Yeah.
but it's so worth it. It's so worth it, so worth it. I think we can spend our entire life discovering how many good things can happen because of language, because of
Yeah.
learn English, Spanish, or whatever. But especially these two languages, because they can be used in many parts of the world. Uh,
Mhm.
it is great. It is great. How about now talking a little bit about your experience with music? And I'm a witness of this, you are an amazing singer, and not
Oh,
just your family, your siblings, you all sing like really well. I've heard, you had one day, you and your brothers and your wife, you sang the happy birthday song to me, on a video call. I recorded that with my cell phone that day, and it sounded so amazing, so amazing. Um,
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Matthias. Happy birthday to you.
oh wow. Are
yes,
you sure it wasn't just because it was your birthday? You were excited.
no, no,
I
no.
mean,
It was I still listen to it. Sometimes I show it to people. Like, this happened a few years ago, and it was amazing. We have to do it again. You have to promise me that you're gonna, and I will make sure that I have a better quality recording now. You know, because
we'll make it happen. I can call in a favor.
you have a CD, right, with your brothers.
Oh goodness, somewhere around. And I joke because that was when we were really young. So I like to think that we've improved a little bit since then. But yes, we do have that floating around somewhere.
Yes, that is so good. I have a copy of that CD.
You
I do.
still have that?
I still have
Oh
it,
my
of
goodness.
course, of course, yes. And but I every now and then I see you post things when you perform live at church, or things like that, like musical numbers. Just you and your brothers. It's so nice. It's so nice.
Oh,
Um,
thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. My we do what we can. We all have our normal lives, right? We all
Mm-hmm.
have other careers and things, but we definitely work hard to make music, something that we have a passion for and share with people. And I mostly just defer to my older brothers to be in charge of. You guys coordinate the stuff. I'll just come and sing.
And because you're going to send me some clips or something, I will insert them right here for people to listen, like right now.
All right. All right.
Because it's
No
great.
pressure.
It's great. Oh, it sounds so amazing. The quality of your voice is the tone, because it's also like very sweet, and the way that your voices like match together, the way they blend, it's so good, so natural.
Yeah, that is the nice thing about family, and singing together. There's just you don't find that when you're with other people that you're not related to. There's a blend that just doesn't exist anywhere else.
Yeah, it's really great. It seems like Bryson is the one with the more probably powerful voice. Is that right? Am I right?
Yeah,
That he has like,
yeah. he's spent a lot of time really working on. It's kind of I call it his Broadway sound, but it's more than that. But
It's Broadway
he's
sound.
definitely spent the most time really developing that presence.
Wow. Well, I I think we can tell because I'm it's like well, as I said, it's more powerful, like with a lot of presence, a lot of, I don't know, it's hard to define.
Right.
But it's really, really impressive. And then the harmonies, oh my gosh, the harmonies that you make when you sing together is so, so good. It's so good, so enjoyable. So yeah, I can wait for people to hear that, like when I post it here. Yes. Well, this has been fun. What do you think?
Yeah.
Uh,
No, honestly, I'm like, getting filled up by this. It's I've missed getting to just chat with you, and it's one of those things where I'm like, it's I wish that there were more people in my life that it was this easy to just talk. We joked like
oh,
we could
that's so nice.
we could run a video all night, or do 6 more of these.
We can do this anytime you want without recording it,
We
You
should.
know, you know that. Something that you said earlier, that learning Spanish had been a humbling experience for you, and thinking about that, what would you say to my students, to people, or anybody who is learning and, like working hard to learn Spanish or English? What would you say? What kind of advice would you give them? Would you give us? I'm still learning too. What would you
Yeah.
say?
Um, Let me think here. From my own experience, I would just encourage people to first remember that it's an ongoing process. And so the idea of becoming perfect, right away, or even, in a few months, try and lose that idea. It's okay to not be perfect.
Hmm.
It's okay to just accept that you're making progress.
Yeah.
And I think too, when you develop a really good sense of humor about it, it makes it that much more enjoyable. Because when I first was learning, I took it really seriously, and I wasn't very good at laughing at myself initially, and that I think made things harder.
Yeah.
But when I learned to just kind of take a step back and go, you know what, this is, it's okay to
I
laugh
think
at myself.
I think that many of us maybe we have this tendency to be like really harsh on ourselves, like not
Yeah.
allowing to make mistakes, or feeling like really embarrassed when we make mistakes. But that's okay. I mean, we have to learn to laugh at ourselves and enjoy and have fun when the process of while we are in the process of learning. It's okay. I mean, it takes time. We will make mistakes, and even when we think we're good at it, we will still make mistakes. I can
Yep.
promise you, now that I'm doing this, that I'm recording myself because of these interviews, and every time that I go back to the recording because I need to edit it, all the time, I think without an exception, I feel a little bit embarrassed about the mistakes that I made, even without realizing. I said, like, how come I said that, or why did I say it in that way, or that is wrong. So it has been humbling for myself. This.
Yeah.
Having to listen to myself constantly while I'm editing these videos. But then I forgive myself.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Because what else can you do?
Mhm.
It's totally fine. And
Absolutely.
I've learned too that when I talk with people now, they are so much more forgiving of my mistakes than
Mhm.
I am towards myself. Like,
Exactly.
it's kind of endearing, even when you're talking with someone, and like I'll talk with someone, and it's clear like my grammar is so far from perfect, and that's okay because we
It is
have a
okay.
good laugh about it. And I think that that helps people feel comfortable. And so, yeah, like, doesn't have to be perfect to still be an enjoyable conversation.
Exactly. Exactly. And I hope that we can all think about that when we are learning, and stop being so harsh on ourselves, and try to have fun.
Yeah.
Um, I get many questions about what is the best thing to do. What can help me the most to learn English. I don't think there's like one answer to that, except do something that, entertains you, something that, I don't know, if you think it's fun to do. Watch
Yeah.
things that you think are more appealing to you, whether it's movies or listening to songs or watching tutorials about something because you want to learn something else. Probably that could be one of the best, like you want to learn how to do something, but the tutorial you find is in English. So what you're doing
Uh-huh.
or what you're focused on is learning to do that. But the information you're receiving is in English. It's like tricking your brain a little bit, I
For
think that's one of
sure.
the best things you can do,
Yeah, lots of exposure, and
lots of
I
exposure.
found that, for me, it was going to your house and having cookies and while you drilled us on grammar,
Don't say that because they're
Ru-
gonna think that I was torturing you.
well,
No,
I
that's
mean,
wrong. Talk.
let's just say, you were very kindly blunt.
We had fun. We had
We
fun.
did.
We had some like great laughs together with
Oh,
you,
some
with
of the best
Brady.
time.
Yes. I would love to do this with Brady as well.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun.
Yes.
just
There
just to,
was there was this
like
episode
I'm
when
having all these memories flood back too. Like it just this.
I know. What was it that happened that day? We were talking about a watch and something about Invictus. I think
Yes.
the brand was Invictus, and he said something like, "Well, no, at that time I didn't know Spanish," and I was like, "But that's not Spanish."
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I can't remember what he thought it meant, but and he would like put it in an accent like Invictus.
What happened?
We're like, Brady, it's just a name. You can just.
Exactly. And but that's not Spanish, because I think he was saying that he didn't know the meaning because he didn't know Spanish back then. But I was like, that's not
Right.
Spanish. So what's your excuse? And what he said, like the punchline when we said, and remember, we're your smartest friends.
You're your smartest, okay? Like we'll never forget.
Not
Here's the
anymore.
bar. So
We had so much fun, so much fun. Well, thank you so very much for accepting to do this with me, taking this interview. I know this might be kind of weird, but it's fun. So thank you
hey,
so very
I'm
much.
so glad. Thank you for letting me come. And I might be your most boring participant, but
You're not.
hey, I'm having a blast.
You're not. You're not. It's you're a very, very, very sweet person and very talented, very gifted. You're so awesome. For me, it's an honor to have you among my best friends. So, and you are, you have a lovely family. Um, I've only met you and Hayden, but I always look forward to meeting you all, the rest of your family someday. And I'm sure it's gonna happen someday.
It's gonna happen, We've the plans are in the works. It just is, we'll get there. Just
We'll
give us
get
some
there.
time.
We'll get there. We'll get there. So thank you so much again, and we'll be in touch. All right.
Thank you. Te quiero un montón.
So también.